Alright, ladies and gentlemen, of course Snezhnaya did just release yesterday. Yes, it is the first time in a very, very long time that I am doing back-to-back uploads, but that is because tomorrow the Spiral Abyss is resetting, and I want to go ahead and give this team a try in the current Spiral Abyss. There is a few things to note. First of all, my Wriothesley is C1, so once we get the selector, either this will be relatable, or if you're gonna go ahead and get C2R0, after that I'll be making C2R0 content. Miko does also have her C1, ODETTE is C0R0, although she is definitely underbuilt. I don't have her level 80 yet. She is on a dull blade, so she's not even giving us Favonius. She's on tenacity, but the main stats are very much not offensive. I just stole my Layla pieces, so yeah. And then, like I said, C0, and then also talents are not up there either. And then Escoffier, because we already have thingy on tenacity, our ODETTE, we are not switching her over to any artifact set. You know, and we're not using her burst, so Noblesse won't even work either. So yeah, there is a lot of changes we could make to improve these teams. But I just want to give this team a shot anyway. You know, there is a pretty strong buff in the... also, our Flins team is entirely C1 as well, C1R0, I should note. And then we will just be using Sucrose as the final slot. Full character builds will be at the end, but yeah, as I'm saying, there is a lot of improvements that could be made to the Wriothesley team. The main thing is, I just really want to finally get to try out Wriothesley in Stellar Conduct, because earlier it was not worth it to run him in it, because I was not going to pull Sandrone just when we were going to get another replacement teammate, certainly in the next patch. So yeah. But yeah, the performance here definitely will not be final. Then again, we do have this massive buff which will help carry us a bit to make up for our scuffed ODETTE. Also, Wriothesley is not on the Stellar Conduct set either. He is still on Mars SA, which, you know, I don't think it's a massive downgrade, but it's certainly... we'll swap off it when we get good enough pieces. But yeah, I think that's basically everything I wanted to say. With that being said, let's hop straight into the runs. Alright then, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the energy recharge bonus, because to be fair, in this team we basically don't need to use our ults. I mean, in an emergency we can start off our rotation with an Escoffier. I mean, to be fair, in this chamber we're not going to be using our ults whatsoever. It would be nice if I was able to group these guys, but of course no grouper. And you know, something like the Abyss Selectors you can knock into each other. I'm not sure if you can really do that on these bosses. I think they're pretty stationary, so yeah. Although to be fair, we did manage it there. I'm just gonna try to go to the side here, see if we can hit both of them at the same time. Okay, yeah, we can kind of knock them about sometimes, not always. I'm just gonna focus on the one who spawned in last, because I think we're going to be able to knock him into the other one sooner. Well, if at all, but I think we should be able to. So yeah, we're just going for a Miko EEE into an ODETTE double E into Escoffier E. We go 3 E's into 2 E's into 1 E into a Wriothesley E, and normally 3 just N5 C's, although, you know, depends on what the enemies are. Sometimes if we get interrupted, sometimes if we need to dodge. That's why Nicole is quite good on this team, but I do not have Nicole, so I will not be using that. Just gonna go ahead and use our ult to front load a little bit of damage, get some cryo app in as well, and allow us to get a bit more damage in right now. Okay, there we go. We just got cancelled by this boss. That's really annoying. To be fair, I literally do not know how this boss's mechanics work. All I know is Stellar Conduct is probably good, because this is a pretty Sandrone favored side. Anyway, oh, that was a pretty big hit there, I am pretty sure. So yeah, I think those were 260k charge attacks, which is kind of crazy to see on Wriothesley in the big 2026. I am literally so happy that he has become good again, and I cannot wait to, first of all, have a fully leveled ODETTE, second of all, have a real artifact set on her, and of course, also we do need to get the Stellar Conduct artifact set on our Wriothesley as well. And finally, also, we need to get his C2, which we will get in a couple of weeks' time. I am literally so excited. Unfortunate that... oh, okay, I messed that up there. Well, to be fair, that is slightly embarrassing, but then again, this is a C1 Flins, C1 Columbina, C1 Ineffa, so this literally will not matter. We should be able to take this guy out in 2 EQs from our Flins, like... nearly so. Let's just go ahead and... okay, there we go. And that is the first chamber done. Easy peasy breezy. On to the next chamber, which is the one I am most scared about, to be honest. Alright then, and here we are on the second chamber now. I will say this is the one I am most scared of, because there's a reason why this is made for Sandrone, and it's because she has projectiles in her charge attack so that she can hit flying enemies. A certain Wriothesley does not. Just using the ult there, because I don't want to go ahead and die. This is a sustainless team. I think the ideal time to dash in this team is during the N4 animation, I think, because normally you're able to skip it and then go straight to the N5 if you do it at the right time. But honestly, right now, I am not trying to min-max. I am still trying to get the feel for this team, because I am used to playing Wriothesley normally in either reverse melt or just in a team with Farina, Escoffier, and my C1 Shenhe. So yeah, not really used to this, but yeah, anyway, now I am going to look like an absolute idiot as I try hit my charge attacks on the flying Eon Blight Drake. Gonna go ahead and ult here just to avoid his bombs. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're actually gonna use Odette's ultimate here just to help, because it can actually reach him. So yeah, okay, anyway, back to hitting our charge attacks. Oh, okay, we actually hit our N5 on his tail there, that's nice. And the N3 even, isn't that amazing? Go ahead and pop our ult here. I'm just gonna go ahead and tank on Odette because I have her on tenacity. So, and I just stole Ladle's pieces, which are full of HP percent. So, yeah, I will say we definitely could do this quicker if we actually had a build Odette, so that we could, you know, if she had the right set, if she had attack percent main stats, if she had her talents level, so that she could actually do damage here to the boss. But like I said, not what is going to happen. Yeah, this is taking us quite a while, but then again, it's like, oh, what do you want us to do? We can barely hit the boss, and then, yeah, but hey, I mean, we cleared in under 2 minutes, so I guess it's not bad considering the fact that the boss was literally flying for basically a minute and a half. Anyway, now we do have the Jade Plume Terrace Room with our C1 Flins team. I'm actually going to go ahead and start off with the big ultimate here, and this will go ahead and do about half his health bar. So if we just go ahead and use our other Q, okay, nice. E and then into another Q. Are we about to finish this Abyss Chamber in literally one rotation? The answer is yes, we do. We did it in literally one Flins rotation. C1 Flins is insane. On to the final chamber. Alright then, and here we are in the third chamber. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the skill buff. I mean, I don't think it's actually gonna help Odette's damage, just because I'm pretty sure most of it just comes from Stellar Conduct, although I could be mistaken. Anyway, we just want to go ahead and apply a bit of Cryo here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use Wriothesley's ultimate, because it should be able to hit, and there we go. Now we get to do a Wriothesley rotation, just purely on the boss. I think that was a 250k stellar hit I saw there. Yep, once again. Okay, I'm only gonna do 2 rotations there, because we took up a bit of time with our ult and then also destroying those things, but now we can go right back into a thingy. I just want to use my ult there for an iframe whilst not losing out on too much damage, although like I said, the C2 would be nice to make our ult more worthwhile. And there we go, we cleared this in 45 seconds, so there we go. Who would have thought that the Stellar Conduct boss was incredibly easy? Definitely much easier than a boss which is in the air the entire time for our Wriothesley, but yeah, okay. Anyway, go ahead and continue with our Flins run against, this time, the Lunar Charged Shield boss. So there we go, 1 Q to take out about 20% of his HP. Follow the hats, follow the hats. Okay, this was a pretty unlucky rotation. Normally we can get off another Q, but it should be fine, Let's go ahead and use Ineffa's ult to destroy that. And then let's use Flint's big ultimate into a small one. And there we go, we cleared that. What was that, like 30 seconds? Love to see it. And yeah, there you go, 36 starred this current Spiral Abyss. Next Spiral Abyss comes out tomorrow. I'm not going to do it straight away. I'm going to wait for a better geared Odette to do it. But hey, you know, this proves that Odette with Wriothesley is pretty damn strong. Well, it's not ideal if the boss is flying, but it's viable enough. So yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the character builds and outro. Well then, even with a lot to improve on our Wriothesley, I am very happy with the Stellar Conduct performance. I am so glad that he is finally relevant again, and for us C1 owners, when we finally get his C2, he will be literally meta defining, which I did not think I would say about Wriothesley in the big 2026, especially when he was getting Doom posted all the way back in 2023. End of 2023, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is definitely a very pleasant surprise. Actually, was it end of 20? Yeah, it was, because C0R0 came out in the summer of 2022. And that's also when I started playing the game, basically. Okay, anyway, Wriothesley's stats, this is how they're looking. Unfortunately, I had to switch him over to an attack goblet as opposed to cry damage. So our crit value did go down a little bit. It is very, very sad. He used to be top 1% on Akasha, then he went down to top 2%. And now I think with attack percent, he is top 4%. But obviously, we're not going to be running him in those teams anymore. So soon there will be a new leaderboard. And I need to get a good artifact set for him before that comes out, because I need to be in the top 1% of Wriothesley players. That's for sure. I do actually have the pieces that I do want to give Wriothesley. It's just I think the substats are a decent bit worse. So for the time being, I am keeping him on Mars SA, but maybe later we'll switch to this. But you will see that the crit value is just much worse. So if I go ahead and give him these pieces here, you'll see that we lose about 60% crit damage, which is definitely not ideal. Actually, no, it would be 60% if I had my old build. I think this way around it's about 50% crit damage he loses. It is quite unfortunate because we need more crit rate on this team. Although maybe this is stronger. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot. Maybe next run I'll do it using this set, and then I'll just upgrade the pieces one by one as we go along. I already showed that off. So yeah, Odette I also showed off earlier. She is very much not contributing much damage-wise, but hey, I guess at least tenacity is buffing. Hashtag cope. Escoffier as well. Her build doesn't really matter all that much. You know, she's here just to give us some fat particles, stuff like that. Then again, we don't even need particles in this team, so I don't know why. So yeah, that doesn't really matter either. So we will switch that over to the Traveler Sword later on when she is leveled up a bit more. Flins, he does have a top percent build. I don't quite remember what percentage, but I remember he is over 240 crit value on Akasha. And of course the entire team is C1 as well, so it is pretty damn insane. Attack percent. Yeah, I am very happy with our Flins build. He is probably the character I am most proudly built of in all of Genshin. And then also our Ineffa as well. You know, the only reason, like I said, Wriothesley was the first ever character during my summons. Wriothesley was the first ever character I intentionally pulled C1. And he was the only one up until I pulled Flins' C1 on his rerun, just because I had accidentally gotten a C1 Ineffa and a C1 Columbina. So, you know, I wasn't gonna let the Flins be C0, but, you know, otherwise, if it wasn't for those events with my insane luck and Node Cry, then Wriothesley still would have been our only C1 on this account. And also, we'd also have a C1 Alkino, but that came from a double that was also not intentional. So yeah, and then soon our Wriothesley is going to be C2, which I like I said, I literally cannot wait for it. But there you go. Those are our character builds. Let me know how you are finding the brand new stellar units. Especially the buffed Wriothesley and, you know, Sino. I don't have Sino on any of my accounts. I was meant to pull him on my old account, but then I ended up pulling Ganyu back in version 3.1 instead. So yeah, I pulled her back in version 3, and Wriothesley was releasing, Sino was releasing in 3.1, so I never got him. Maybe that would have been a better investment, but anyway, that doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know how your runs have been going, and I will see you guys for the next. Well, first of all, I'm probably going to review the. Well, I need to do Memory of Chaos when that resets. I need to react to the brand new Pride Wind tier list. I'll later need to make my own tier list, and at some point we'll also get the brand new Spiral Abyss run. So it might take a while. I'm not sure when that will come up, but hey, there's a lot of stuff coming out soon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.